Welcome back to Warhammer Quest, the adventure card game. I have a couple corrections from the first episode based on viewer comments. The first has to do with the tracing the toxicant track here. The token was supposed to start on the space with nothing in it, and then at the end of the first round it moves to the green space here, which does mean our Bright Wizard is going to have 2 damage on her because that was the text. Distribute 2 wounds among the party. So that corrects that. The other thing that I messed up in the settlement phase, which is between Quest 1 and Quest 2, you get the settlement phase. Each of the characters can perform 2 of the settlement actions. I only performed 1 for each of them, which was upgrading a card each. They get another settlement action. So what I'm going to do for them to continue with the playthrough is I'm going to rule that they both get an extra item. So they can carry 2 gear cards instead of just 1. Our Bright Wizard has 1 gear card already, and our Warrior Priest has none. So that will give them the 2 upgrades they need, or should have had, between the first and second quest. Alright, so we're going to continue on with tracing the toxicant. And of course, the first thing we do is we start with our heroes. And our first player this time has moved over to the Warrior Priest. For first player, he's going to get the first action. He has 7 damage, and unfortunately, he has the bleeding condition on him here. After your activation, suffer a wound. Damn it. And it says, after another hero aids you, discard this card. This is all very bad news because the aid card for the Bright Wizard is exhausted, which is not good. Alright, let's take a look then at the Warrior Priest, and we're going to see what he's going to do. Alright, so the Warrior Priest has little option. He has everything exhausted except Battle Prayers. This is going to refresh all of his other powers here in a moment. It says, you may exhaust 1 non-nemesis enemy engaged with you. Let's exhaust the Rotten Giant Wolf. It's exhausted. It won't activate now in the enemy phase. Excellent. Then we're going to rest, and we get to roll 1 white die and see if we can get any successes. So let's go ahead and roll up the dice. Alright, let's get to rolling the 1 die for the Warrior Priest. Any successes will mean he gets to heal, and he needs it. And so he ends up getting 1. Well, I guess 1 is better than nothing. So let's go ahead and heal him up 1, and then we're going to continue on with Battle Prayers. Alright, well, he gets to heal 1, which sounds good, but of course he's bleeding, so he's going to end up taking a wound anyway. But let's continue on with Battle Prayers. Choose 1 hero. That hero becomes empowered. And we are going to empower the Bright Wizard, because she's going to be going next. Does not exhaust the next action card you use. During that action, you get 1 success and 1 shield. After that action, discard this condition. So we are going to empower the Bright Wizard, which I will try not to forget, because I have been forgetting that in the past. And continuing on with the card, ready all of your actions. So all of the actions that were exhausted become readied. And that was the Warrior Priest. Unfortunately, he has bleeding. After your activation, which has just finished, suffer a wound. Damn it. So the one that he healed just comes right back. Okay, that was the action for the Warrior Priest. Of course, in a 2-player, 2-character game that says the hero activates twice during each hero phase. So that's right on the card for 2 players, just to clarify that. So our first of 2 actions, we go back and forth for the Bright Wizard coming right up. Okay, so we have an empowered Bright Wizard. Let's not forget that. And I think we're going to use the Burning Head, which is the Explore option. And the reason, and this is not going to exhaust because of empowered. So we're going to get a success and a shield. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put a success and a shield here, so I don't forget. So that's the empowered, and then this goes away at the end of this activation. So I'm going to put it away now, trying not to forget things. So let's go ahead and do the Burning Head. So we're going to be rolling 2 white dice. We have no enemies engaged with the Bright Wizard, so we're not going to be rolling any black dice. And that reminds me, I forgot to roll a black die for the Warrior Priest because he had the Rat Swarm. engaged with him. So before we get to rolling the 2 white dice, let's just quickly roll the black die for the warrior priest and see if anything nasty happened, and let's hope it didn't. All right, oh, I forgot. Let's roll the 1 black die for the warrior priest, and he gets an attack. Oh, this is not good. So this is kind of retroing. He gets an attack. Let's take a look. He's going to take another wound. And I apologize for doing things out of order. So yes, he should have rolled a black die when he did his battle prayers, rolling 1 white, and the rat swarm was active, and it's going to give him 1 damage. Ooh, this is not going well. All right. Warrior Priest, 8. Now let's get to rolling the 2 exploration dice for our Bright Wizard. Okay, so I've put the shield and axe here. Now the Bright Wizard has no enemies engaged with her. She's going to roll 2. This is for exploration, so we already have 1 success. Let's hope we can get a total of 6 and get on to the next location, which is probably not very likely, but we'll see what we can get. And we get, well, okay. We end up getting 2 more for a total of 1, 2, 3 successes. So let's put those 3 successes on the location, and then we're going to have to continue on with the Burning Head. All right, so here we have the location, the Confounding Stairs, and we just had 3 successes put on it. All right, back we go to the Burning Head, keeping in mind it's not going to exhaust anyway, but it is the refresh card. It's because we used Empowered. But let's continue on with the Burning Head. And the Burning Head card says, next, draw and resolve 1 dungeon card. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to draw a dungeon card, and we're going to see which one it is. Oh, it's an ambush. How delightful. No. Horrid creature springs out of the darkness and attacks. Spawn 1 enemy. But we do grab a gear. So let me just read the rules again here for spawning. I think the enemy spawns right on the Bright Wizard and not in the dark and the shadows. I'm going to check that. We're going to come right back. This is a double-edged sword. We get an enemy, but we do get a gear card. Maybe we'll get a legendary item. Who knows? So, in fact, the ambush means an enemy is going to spawn and become engaged with the Bright Wizard. Damn it. So, let's go ahead. Draw the next enemy off the enemy stack. And she gets, oh, of course, a Gutter Rudder. But it's a Skaven. It's just a regular 2. Wow, it has 2 defense and 2 health. Inflict, Skirmish, and Scurry. Wow, this is a brutal, brutal thing. It's now engaged with her. Yay, but let's not forget, we also do get to pull a gear card, and now each of our heroes can hold 2 gear cards. So let's go ahead and pull the gear card, and what does our hero get? She gets a light armor, studded leather, and she can apply +2 to your health value. That's useful. Before your rest action, you may exhaust another action to action card to apply 1 success. Before your rest action. In my rest action, okay, so that's at least something. Gives her +2 health, so I have to remember that. Where should I put that? Yeah, I think I'll leave it right here, but I got to remember she has +2 health. All right, well, we're not finished with Burning Head yet. It says you may suffer up to 3 wounds to claim 1 success token for each wound suffered. Do I want to bother doing that? I don't really want to take any more wounds. That's just bad news, but I could power up Fireball then. Or I could fire up Fan the Flames. I don't think I'm going to take any wounds. It's bad enough as it is. So I'm not going to do that part. And then we ready all of our actions. Which means Bright Wizard is now back and good to go. And that's going to conclude our Bright Wizard's turn. We're going to be going now to the 3rd turn, which is our 2nd action for the Warrior Priest. Okay, wow. And yes, we still have the bleeding. Damn it. Which means our Bright Wizard on her last action is probably going to use Fan the Flames, because that's the most useful one to use. Wow, should we explore then? Should we explore and try and get through this location? Oh, this is all pretty nasty, nasty stuff. I think we are going to use the Explore action, the Path of Redemption, for our Warrior Priest. So we're going to be rolling 2 white dice, 1 black die, and we're going to see how many successes we can get for exploring. Let's hope we get 3 and we can move on to the next location. I feel like I'm not doing very well. Okay, let's take 2 white dice, 1 black die, and we're going to roll them up, give them a shake here, and see what we get. Well, this is... damn it! We get 2 successes and 1 attack. All right, let's process that. And then we're going to continue on with the Path of Redemption card. Not what I wanted. All right, we've had 2 successes, 1 attack. The 1 attack, of course, on the Rat Swarm is the only active enemy. It's going to do 1 damage. The Warrior Priest, he's just racking up the wounds. Not good. We do have 2 successes though, so we're going to put 2 successes on the location. Let's go ahead and do that, then we're going to come back to Path of Redemption card. Well, we're going to be adding 2 more successes to our location, which is just 1 short of completing the Confounding stairs. Damn it! Which is going to suck. But anyway, back we go, Path of Redemption, to continue on with the Warrior Priest action. Alright, we're going to be doing the Draw and Resolve a Dungeon card. Please, please be something useful. It's a lurking foe. Damn it! Oh god, we're getting hammered. It says movement flickers within the shadows. It appears something is stalking you. Spawn 1 enemy face down in the shadows. But we get a gear card, which is at least something. And let's hope that's good. Alright, well, let's spawn an enemy in the shadows, and then we're going to get a gear card for the Warrior Priest. Alright, well, we're going to spawn 1 enemy to the shadows. Damn it, we don't need more enemies. We need to get out of this location, have the ones in the shadows disappear. Not happening. Alright, that was spawning an enemy to the shadows. Back to the Warrior Priest, because now he gets to choose 1 hero, and that hero can claim 1 success. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so continuing on with the card, choose 1 hero. That hero claims a success token. Ah, man. Which one do I want to claim a success token? I think he's going to do it for himself. And he's going to place it on battle prayers because he's getting so many damn wounds that he's going to get another wound right here, right now. So this will at least help him recover some wounds when he does battle prayers. At least I hope so. Okay, so he's going to do that. He's going to go up to... That's the end of his action. He's going to take 1 more wound for bleeding. Damn it, we've got to get rid of this, which we're going to do pretty much right now, I think, for the Bright Wizard. Ooh, this is just not acceptable. But anyway, that's what it is. That's the end now of the Warrior Priest's final action for this round. We're going to go now back to the Bright Wizard. The Bright Wizard needs to use her aid action so that we can get rid of bleeding on the Warrior Priest. At least that's how I see it. Alright, over we go to the Bright Wizard. But not so fast, because after the lurking foe, we're supposed to get a gear card for the Warrior Priest. Almost forgot that. It's very important. We need gear. And the gear card we get for the Warrior Priest is a wooden shield. Better than nothing. You can carry 2 items. During the activation of an enemy engaged with you, you may discard 1 success to apply -2 to the attack value. Limit 1 shield per hero. So we can get rid of 1 success token, which we have 2 of them, to apply -2 to the attack value. Hey, that is a pretty useful item. I like it. And there was something the Warrior Priest obviously needs. And then, so we've done everything now. He's got his gear, which is pretty awesome. Back we go now for the final action for the heroes, over to the Bright Wizard. Okay, it's the Bright Wizard. She gets the last action. Yes, she's going to do aid, which we're going to exhaust it because it's exhausted. Aid, roll 2 white dice. She's going to roll 2 white dice, 1 black die for the Gutter Runner. And it says the target hero may ready 1 action and can suffer a wound, claim 1 success token, and ready an additional action. Not going to need to do that. So we're going to fan the flames. So 2 white dice and 1 black die. Let's go to the dice tray, roll them up, and hope we get a lot of successes. All right, let's get to rolling. 2 white dice, 1 black die for the gutter runner. And, oh, well, that was absolutely not good, but we got 1 success, 1 shield, and 1 attack. Let's go and process that with the Bright Wizard. Okay, so the dice we have an attack. So the Gutter Runner would attack the Bright Wizard for 1 damage, but we have 1 shield, so that cancels out. We only, though, get 1 success on aid. So the target hero will be ready in action and suffer a wound to claim a success, ready in additional action. Our target's going to be the Warrior Priest. So let's go over to him. He can ready 1 action, and he's going to get 1 success. I'm not going to give him another wound to claim another success token. He has too many wounds already. So let's go do the processing on the Warrior Priest, and then after that, we're going to be into the enemy phase. And we also can't forget, the Warrior Priest was aided, and when he is aided, after another hero aids you, discard this card. So we are getting rid of the bleeding condition, but he gets 1 success token. Where does he want to put it? I think he's going to put it on Righteous Fury. He's not going to take another wound to get another success token, but he is going to be able to ready an action. So he gets to ready Path of Redemption. And that's going to take care of our final action, Fan the Flames, for the Bright Wizard. And there you go. So we're going to zoom the camera out, and it's now the dratted enemy phase. Damn it. Okay, for the enemy phase, we start with the first player, who is the Warrior Priest with the wooden shield and a first player marker. He does have an active enemy engaged with him. That's the Rat Swarm. It's going to advance. It's already here. It's going to inflict. It's going to do him 1 damage. Now, we can get rid of 1 success token to make this a -2 attack, but I don't think we're going to do that. And you don't even have to exhaust this. It just says during your activation. Oh, during your activation. Oh, this is not his activation. This is enemy activation. He's going to take a wound. Doesn't have an option. I didn't quite read that shield card correctly. Okay, so 11 wounds. Wow. And this guy then will, of course, become exhausted. And over we go now to the Bright Wizard. All right, and the Bright Wizard has the lovely Gutter Runner attached to her. It's going to activate. It's going to inflict, giving her 1 damage. That's not the end of it, though, because then it has Skirmish. And Skirmish says, if this enemy is engaged with you, which it is, become bleeding. Oh, man. We're going to bleed out in this game. So our Bright Wizard is now bleeding. Damn it, that's not what we want, obviously. And then it's going to scurry. If this enemy, scurry. If this enemy is engaged with you, it retreats. Otherwise, it engages you. Darn it. So it retreats. And it is, now I put it up there in the shadows, and I put a star die on it to indicate it has gone. Oh man, over we go now, back to the Warrior Priest. And the Warrior Priest up next, we have 2 enemies still active in the shadows. Oh man, I think we're going to activate the Gutter Runner for the Warrior Priest. So it's going to inflict. It's going to inflict 2 damage. Can't do anything about it with the wooden shield, because that is only when the Warrior Priest activates. He's not activating. An enemy engaged with you. Activation of an enemy. Oh, okay, it does happen on the enemy activation. Unfortunately, this enemy is not engaged with the Warrior Priest, so this shield can't be used anyway. So we're going to get 2 damage more on the Warrior Priest. Oh man, we're going to lose this game really quick. We haven't even got through the first location. He is up to 13 damage already. Holy crap. And then it's Skirmish. Oh my goodness. Skirmish says, if this enemy is engaged with you, it's not. You become bleeding. Otherwise, you become sickened. So now our Warrior Priest becomes sickened. It says, during your activation, apply -1 success. Before your rest action, your before your rest action, discard this condition. So he has to take a rest action to get rid of the sickened condition. It's going to give him a -1 success. Damn, and that's not even the end of Scurry. Scurry then says if enemy is engaged with you, it retreats. Otherwise, it engages you. So the wounded elite gutter runner with 2 wounds on it is going to become engaged with the warrior priest. Yeehaw, but at least that's the end of its nasty activation. And finally, we have one in the shadows. It's going to be going now for the bright wizard. And what do we have in the shadows? We have a rat swarm. Oh, great, it will advance. So it's in the shadows, it's going to advance, and then it's going to inflict 1 damage. So it advances on our bright wizard. It's going to inflict 1 damage, giving her a total of 4 damage, which is not great. And of course, that will be its activation. All right, that's the end of the enemy phase. All enemies have had a chance to hurt us. So all of the exhaust tokens I'm taking off all enemies. That was the enemy phase. Next, we're into the location phase, which has unfortunately only 5. Damn it, only 5 successes on it. We needed 6 to change locations. We can't. There's no starter location effects. There's no moving to the next location because we only have 5. But we have the end of location. At the end of location phase, discard 1 progress from this location. So instead of having 5 on there, we have 4. Because we're confounded. We don't know which stairs to run up and down. We're being chased by some nasties. And that is going to take us to the peril phase. Oh yeah. So let's go up here to the peril tracker and process that one. And here we go. So we're going to move it once more to the next green location. This is the billowing green smoke. Bites at your lungs. Every breath is pain. Distribute 2 wounds among the party. We're going to give those 2 wounds once again to the bright wizard. She's going to go from 4 damage up to 6 damage. And that is going to conclude the peril phase. So let's wrap up for today. And wow, I don't know how we're doing. It doesn't seem that good. Okay, so that concludes round 2. So the first player marker is going to move over back to the bright wizard. She will be first player for round 3. And yeah, things not looking too good. We have the bright wizard who's bleeding. Oh man. We have the warrior priest who's sickened. 13 damage. He only has 12 health left. He's over half his hit points gone already. He does have a wooden shield though, so that can save a bit of his bacon, possibly. And the bright wizard has the magic scroll and studded leather armor, which gives her 2 extra health. Now before your rest action, you may exhaust another action to apply 1 more success. So I don't know how we're doing. We've got to get out of this location. These cutter runners are pretty nasty. Of course, Odious Grump is also shuffled into the enemy deck right now. That could be totally ugly. And of course we have Uncle here who's going to show up if we ever get to the final location, which so far we haven't been doing too good. Alright, this is Warhammer Quest Adventure Card Game. We are doing Quest 2, Tracing the Toxicant with the Bright Wizard, the Warrior Priest. So thanks so much for watching along. Thanks for your comments, subscriptions, likes, and all of that. Like I said, this series is going to come out kind of sporadically when I get a chance to film, which is not too often for the next little while. So it won't be a video a day. It'll be every few days or 3-4 days, whatever, somewhere in there. But it does give me a chance to read the comments and fix things if I mess stuff up, at least. So thanks so much, and we'll see you in round 3.